You are now listening to Playbook Radio. Here is your host, Martin Williams.
Thank you for tuning in to Playbook Radio. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. All the links to the podcast can be found at gameplanplaybook.com. That's gameplanplaybook.com. So today what I wanted to talk to you about is goal setting. And goal setting is one of those things that's been talked about ad nauseum from almost the beginning of time. Teachers, writers, so many people have talked and emphasized the importance of goal setting. And even though there's so much material and there's so many things have been said about goal setting, the average person doesn't set goals. There's this long talked about study from Harvard University that only 3% of people on the earth write down their goals every day. And the numbers are that 3% of the world owns 97% of the wealth. Now, obviously, those numbers have to be verified, and there's certainly some room for error there. But I think sometimes we get caught up in the quantitative that we miss the qualitative result. And the bottom line is that most people don't write down their goals. I'm not around people who write their goals down. There are times when I don't write my goals down every day. I try to, but I don't do it every single day. But there's something that happens when you write your goals down every day. And the something that happens is that it drives the thing that you want into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind starts trying to figure out ways to get it for you. Okay? I've learned goal setting from a lot of different people, both personally and through books and trainings and things. But the one training or teaching that stuck with me the most was from Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is considered one of the godfathers of personal development. And Brian Tracy essentially said, to write your goals down as if they are already a fact. So you're not writing that you're going to do this, or you're going to lose weight, or you're going to buy this. You write it as if you have it now, and you write it in the present tense. You write it in a personal way. So I have this, I am at this weight, I own this. And when you do this day and night, something happens eventually, right? It may not be a week, it may not be 2 weeks, but eventually you get ideas, right? You get hunches, you get ways and means to make this thing happen. And I've seen it happen in my life so many times, because your desire needs a target. Just having a desire is not enough. And just defining your desire is not enough. You got to take that defined desire and turn it into a goal. Because when you turn it into a goal with a deadline, with a time frame in which it needs to happen, again, your subconscious mind will start to figure out ways on how to get it. And it may be a book, it may be a website, it may be something that isn't readily apparent to you right now. But that's the power of goal setting. Goal setting acts as an attractor, and you get the knowledge, you get whatever it is you need, whether it's knowledge, whether it's money, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's an introduction, no matter what it is, you get what you need when you set a goal. And not just setting it, but to me, it's the writing it down. It's the writing down of the goal. It's just as important as setting the goal in the first place, because it gives your mind something to focus on, to put its attention towards, and you start moving towards it, right? So if you do nothing else, when you go to bed tonight, write down the 3 things that you want more than anything else, right? I would say no more than 3. Ideally 1. Pick one thing, and if you can't stay with one, then add 2 more. But at least write down one thing that you want to happen within the next 12 months, and make a decision, which is, I'm giving you a sneak peek on principle number 4. You're going to make a decision to write that goal when you go to bed and when you get up in the morning. And in 30 days, what will happen is that your mind will have started changing, and the orientation of your thoughts go from something that seems very obscure, very out there, to something that's real and tangible and something that you can actually have. That is the difference. That is what goal setting does. It puts something that's out in the ether, and it makes it real, something that you can actually make happen in your life. So that's the power of goal setting. That's why you should do it every single day. So tomorrow we're going to talk about principle number 4, making a decision, and why it's not just about making the decision to pursue your goal, but also becoming a decisive person. So my name is Martin Williams. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Playbook Radio. If this episode helped you, please share it with family and friends. For more about Playbook strategies, please go to GameplanPlaybook.com.